Last week I surveyed a pretty big group of business owners, managers and consultants in an effort to find out what they believe to be their biggest blocks to achieving what they set out to achieve every year and to getting the right stuff done on a day-to-day basis. So firstly, if you're one of those people who completed that survey, thank you, from the bottom of my heart. It was a fantastic response. I was chuffed to bits with it, and it will definitely help to make Chaos to Consistency even more relevant to you when it launches later this month. Your answers, though, also acted as a bit of an inspiration for this 3-video series that I promised you for completing the survey. But before I get into that, and just in case you've stumbled across this video and have no idea who I am, I'm Marianne Page. I'm the creator of a business called Bright 7 and the Simplify programme. I'm also an author. I wrote a book called Process to Profit, which has been hailed in certain quarters as better than Michael Gerber's E-Myth, which obviously I'm delighted about and tell as many people as I possibly can. My background is mostly McDonald's. I spent an awful lot of years there as a senior manager, and I learned 2 really important things. The first was the importance of simple systems to get the job done effectively. And the second was the importance of training your people to run those systems. But not only that, but to develop them as individuals so that they can be the best they can possibly be. They can fulfill their potential. Now, as a motivator, there really isn't anything to equal that. And it's no surprise at all to me that McDonald's has so many 20-year plus employees, of which I was one. It's also, I guess, not surprising that my mission in life, my real passion, I should say, is to help people, business owners like you particularly, to simplify and systemize what you do so that you can fulfill your potential and achieve your true success, whatever that may look like to you. And that's what I want to talk to you about in this video, your success. Because what's clear to me from your answers to the survey is that many of you are not really clear about what success means for you, what it looks like to you. And even more of you are overwhelmed and bogged down by other people's stuff, other people's priorities, and you're not focused on your own. So what is success? Well, the dictionary defines it as an accomplishment of an aim or a purpose. And that word purpose is really key. It's what I want to talk to you about today. Because success is all about your purpose, your reason for doing something, your why. There's a great book I'd encourage you to read if you haven't already called Start With Why. It's by a guy called Simon Sinek. What it says in a nutshell is that when you have a big enough why, a big enough purpose or reason for doing something, you will be successful. Simple as that. Now, at the end of the day, we all want success. It's just that most of us never stop to think about what it looks like to us. So here is my question. What does success look like to you? When your friends and family are standing around your grave or holding your little urn in their hands, what do you want them to be saying about you? Chances are it won't be anything to do with how much money you made or how big your business was or how many hours you worked in a week. And I guess that's really the first point I want to make. A successful life is way more than just a successful business or career. And yet, sometimes we chase business success at the cost of everything else. We get it into our heads, partly because some of the current gurus are telling us this, that to be a proper business person, we have to have £1 million business. We have to be up at the crack of sparrows and still flying with the owls late at night. We have to be prepared to make sacrifices, huge sacrifices in our personal life to be successful in business. We get bogged down in other people's view of success, what our success should look like in their eyes. And we're overwhelmed by other people's priorities. We're chasing other people's goals. So back to my question. What does success look like to you? Excuse me. Don't come out with some glib answer, some off-the-cuff response. Really think about this, because it's fundamental. You'd just be cheating yourself. It's absolutely fundamental to beating overwhelm, procrastination, and at getting the right stuff done every day. It's fundamental to it. So what does success look like to you? What would have to be in place? What would you be doing? Who would you be with? Where would you be for you to consider your life to be a success? Now, we'll get into this in much more detail in Chaos to Consistency. But for now, just break it down. Think about your business first of all. How would it be running? Would it be online or offline? How much would you be making in profit every year? How many days per week or weeks per month would you be working? Do you really want £1 million business? Now, maybe you do. No problem with that. But maybe you'd be happy with a 6-figure business or a high 5-figure business. But I'm asking you to think about that, to think about what you really want. You know, maybe you're more about having time with your kids while they're growing up, or with your parents while they're still around. Or maybe you just want to go off and see the world with your other half or on your own. And what about those relationships? What sort of a relationship do you want to have with your other half? Or would you be having with your other half in this successful life? And what about your children, your parents, your friends? What would you want them to be saying or thinking about you? And of course, we can't forget our health, because you can't do much without it, to be fair. But would you see yourself as 2 stone lighter, as running a marathon? Maybe just physically able to do whatever you wanted to do. You know, you need to think of those things that are really important to you. The things that you would want to be remembered for. The things that would say to you that your life was a success. And why am I asking you to do all of this thinking? For one reason only. Because when you're really clear about what success looks like to you, then you know with absolute certainty what your priorities are and what you should be planning for. You won't just know what you should be doing every day, but also why you're doing it. Crucially, why you're doing it. You know, how much more motivated to get stuff done would you be then? So have a really good think about that. In the next video, I'll share with you a clever little exercise that I use quite regularly to get me past overwhelm, to push me through the procrastination barrier and get me focused back on the stuff that will move me towards my ideal future. In the meantime, take that time to think. Think about what I've shared with you today. Think about what success looks like to you. And then please leave a comment below the video to share your thoughts. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.